Hello there, it's Howard from Ukeoholics here in Spain, and I've done a few videos, but this is a request from somebody who's a real beginner and needs some hints and tips to get started, basically. So I thought I'd go over a few little tricks and tips. So we'll start off with tuning the ukulele, and the best thing for tuning the ukulele are these clip-on tuners, which work on the vibration of the whole instrument. So then you've got a room full of instruments tuning up at the same time. They won't be affected by this little tuner, so it's ideal for all acoustic instruments: violins, fiddles, mandolins, etc. Guitars, ukuleles. So I'll close work, but put my specs on. So I'll show you how to tune up here, and you can see the dial there. Let me switch it on. So now let's see if we can get that in there. Shot, and this is the G string, and it should be flat, so you just tune it up until the dial gets to the top like that. Okay, that's in tune. And I'll do the others the same, but they are in tune because I've tuned them. So you should have that. If you haven't got one of these tuners, I suggest you get one. This was £25, this one, but you can get them from about £9. Same sort of thing, there's loads of them about. That's your tuning, G, C, E, A. Right. The next thing I'd go over is just holding the ukulele itself when you're playing. Now the best way, and there's certain suggestions here. Some like to hold it here. You tuck it under this arm here like this, and you hold it like that. Right, that gives you a firm grip. You can use a strap, and that does mean drilling into your ukulele at the end here. And sometimes the ends of these ukuleles are not the best. They've got a reinforcement here, so you worry that it might pull on that and pull half your ukulele away. So I prefer not to use a strap. So you either hold it like this, which is a good way, or get back a bit, you hold it in your lap and you support it on your thigh here. Now that has to be my favourite way of doing it because it's secure. It's resting on your thigh, and you just strum away, no problem. Okay, so let's go over a few. Now the beginner's chords that most people teach are, now you've got to use the right fingers here. I'll show you why in the end, but third finger, and you put it on the 3rd fret of the A string as it is. This one at the bottom here. The bottom is away from you. It's actually the 1st string. So that's a C. If you play the rest of them, you've got a C chord. The 2nd chord is in the same key, so it's an F, and that's F is 1st finger on the E string, 2nd finger on the G string. Okay, so you got F. When you're changing from C to F, which is quite a common thing on that key, you can go from the 3rd finger to those two. Makes it easy. Now the 3rd chord is this one is the more difficult one. It's got three fingers on this one. Your 1st finger stays on that 1st fret of the E string. This finger here, the 2nd finger, goes on the 2nd fret of the C string, and this finger here goes on the A string, 2nd fret, and that's that sort of shape, triangular shape, and that's a G7. So the 3 chords you've got is us. Are those 3 like that. And they are the good ones to start with. Now as you progress with the ukulele, you might find C is not a very good key for you to sing in, depending on your voice. But it's not always for me. Certain songs it's okay on, certain songs it's not. So, but as you play more, you'll learn more chords, and you'll find a key that suits you, and you can use the chords in that key to be able to sing with. So that's the fingering. and the fingers you should use from. So third finger for the C, those two for the F, and those three there. In fact, you leave that one is and you just move those two fingers into place for this G7. So you can see it's easy to go from there to there to there, and when you want to go back to C, you just go, take those two off and you're back to C again, or back up again to G7. So C, G7, C, G7. Alright, now the thing that probably gets most beginners when they start is the strumming. So the hardest thing to learn, as opposed to changing chords in a nice smooth way, you need to be able to strum it. And strumming is what gets most people. Now, I've seen beginners who play just where the sound hole is, here, and the problem with that is your finger can go right through, okay? Right through the strings and get caught. Sometimes if you're trying to strum it, you get caught up. So what you want to do is strum here, just above just that space between the top of the body and the sound hole. That space there is where you want to strum. Okay, so, and you use the first finger. That's the traditional way of playing the ukulele. The first finger, right hand or left hand, depending whether you're left hand or right handed. Presumably you're right handed, that finger. And that plays down like that. That's your downstroke. The upstroke is just sort of almost a brush, and it ends up being the pad of your finger a little bit. So the best strum to learn to start with is probably just the up and down. Now the downstroke will be louder because it's the fingernail as opposed to your pad, but that's okay because you probably want the downstroke to be louder anyway because it's... At the end, this hand should be a life of its own, really. It's very wristy. The wrist movement is very wristy, so it's got to, because you're holding the uke with this hand, perhaps with this arm here, so you can't use too much arm movement, as you'd lose your uke. So this is the strum pattern to use to start with, and you can do loads and loads of songs just to that strum pattern like that. Get this going automatically, you won't have to worry about this right hand, and you can concentrate on your left hand changing the chords like that, and you still keep the strumming pattern going. As a beginner, that's the strum pattern you want, just up and down. Faster or slower. It's a good one to start with. Well, that's okay for this lesson. If you'd like me to do some more, you can always drop me a line, and thank you very much.